So let's start our conversation about digital security. I'm really excited to introduce you to our amazing expert today, Joe Williams. Joe Williams is the Senior Director of Information Technology at AOF, where he leads IT initiatives that drive secure, efficient technology solutions for a mission-driven organization supporting small business growth. With over 25 years of experience in the IT and financial industries, Joe has held executive roles in IT leadership, specializing in digital security, systems optimization, and data protection. His expertise spans both corporate and nonprofit sectors, providing him with a unique perspective on the challenges and opportunities in digital transformation and cybersecurity. It's great to have you here, Joe.
Wow, I want to meet that guy.
I know, I love hearing the wealth of experience you have, and we truly have just the perfect person to take us through something like digital security, which can feel kind of hefty. So what are some essential cybersecurity tools small business owners should consider?
Wow. So before we go budget friendly, I'll definitely just repeat, especially if you're a small business, if you are at the point where you're needing to leverage technology and you can partner with a managed IT services provider, that will absolutely be very important, because they will then take on the accountabilities for that cost of making sure that your cyber posture is in place. So your certificates, your servers being maintained, that you have antivirus and things of that nature. So that is definitely one thing, but that is not always budget friendly. At a minimum, small businesses should consider using firewalls. There are software-based firewalls. There are appliance-based firewalls, depending on how your business is architected with its access to your technologies. Making sure that you have antivirus. Antivirus almost comes free out of the box when you buy a new laptop, or at least it's free for the first 12 months. But you can absolutely look at things of that nature. Budget-friendly options, maybe platforms like Avast or Bitdefender. They both offer free antivirus solutions. May not have all the additional, bells and whistles that some of the paid do, but at least the basics could be covered by just looking at an Avast or Bitdefender. We talked about password protection. So LastPass does provide a basic password management service. So that's, not a lot of the big box solutions. They do offer some entry level, maybe even things that are targeted for small businesses. Sometimes you don't know because you just didn't ask. And then some of them, they do advertise it right up front that, hey, you can do this, but of course you may get advertisements for upgrading to the paid, but at least you do have your basics covered. Also, the Federal Trade Commission and the Small Business Administration, they have free cybersecurity resources and guidelines available on their websites. So if it's not actually the tool itself, then maybe they will also you'll see that they list resources that could be available to you at low to no cost as well.
And it's really good to hear that there are places that you can get maybe a free version of something until you can upgrade, so that you don't feel like you can't have anything. Okay, the first question was from our earlier conversation about phishing. And this person asks, are there any ways to limit who can email us? Like, can you set up only approved emails? Is that an option? Or not?
So that's a tough one. I guess it really does depend on your line of business. Because there are some solutions with your email provider to where you can set up effectively a white list or an allow list, but that means that only those that are coming from domains or specific domains would be allowed to email in. So that's very restrictive. So, if you're expecting an email from anyone with a gmail.com, maybe gmail.com is not a good example, because that's likely a bad email address. But if you're only, maybe you do have a use case to where you have an email set up, but you only want to interact with mybank.com. And so maybe mybank.com is the only email that can come into your inbox. There are some options for you to do something like that. It is not very practical, but creating a culture of cybersecurity, it starts with regular engaging training sessions that don't just teach, but simulate real world phishing scenarios. You can provide your teams with examples of phishing emails and talk through them, like we were just sharing before about grammar, and maybe the logos are bad, or, you can look at the URL, talk through those things and come up with ways of how you will share that information. Like if you did get an email, then how do you let others in your organization know that, hey, this is what I just got, be on the lookout for it. That's a nice reminder of the importance of staying on top of that as well. Maybe you dedicate, 10 minutes on your agenda to talk about cybersecurity and what you as an organization are doing to help make sure that everything is secure. But then what can you do to make sure that you all are leveraging your access to your systems securely? One thing that some businesses that I've worked for, tools of this that we've implemented, is a tool. It's called Know Before. And so Know Before, spelled BE4, the number 4. They have different training scenarios that you can sign your team members up for, and then on a recurring basis, they get an email that invites them to complete a training. And those training, it walks them through different scenarios about phishing, smishing, things to avoid for things that could lead to malware, things of that nature taking place. It could walk them through examples of how to create secure passwords. That is a good resource to consider leveraging for increasing your cybersecurity posture or maturity level. I'm going to come up with a way to coin that.
Yes, it's going to be trademarked. I love it. Okay, that's awesome. And so we are already out of time. We're actually a little over time. Once again, I feel like this topic is something that there could just talk about it for hours. So we are not leaving folks here without resources. I think the takeaway today is everyone go turn on 2-factor authentication and no repeat passwords and lots of other things, but those are my to-do list. So thank you so much, Joe, for your expertise and your time and making sure you move into a more digitally secure future for your business. All right, till next time, everyone. We'll see you in the next one.